Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I'm genuinely super excited to dive into this one with you today. We're getting into our week 2 deep dive on product identification, and we're looking at a completely fascinating toolkit. We are going to explore exactly how you take that messy, chaotic, kind of fuzzy spark of an idea and transform it into a rock-solid, structurally sound product direction. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed staring at a messy problem space, well, consider this explainer your personal roadmap, from chaos straight to clarity. So before we even open up this toolkit, I want you to think about this for a second. What happens when you build a truly brilliant solution for the exact wrong problem? Seriously, think about it. You could have the most gorgeous user interface, the absolute cleanest code, genius marketing behind it. But if you skip the foundational step of identifying the actual problem, you're just going to end up with a flawless product that literally nobody wants. And the scale of this misstep, it's kind of staggering. Get this, 95%. That is the estimated percentage of certain high-profile initiatives, think cutting-edge AI projects, for example, that stall out and completely fail to deliver any real business value. And here's the crazy part. They don't fail because the execution was bad. They fail because of something called solution bias. Teams just fall in love with a shiny new technology, and they start chasing vague ideas without ever rooting out what's actually causing their users pain. But here's the twist. While blindly chasing AI as a vague solution is a recipe for failure, using AI as an active, collaborative partner in the frameworks we're about to cover, that is an absolute game changer. To make sure we don't fall into that solution bias trap, we're unpacking a sequential 5-part curriculum today. First, we'll frame the right problem. Second, brainstorm without the noise. Third, we hit the iteration reality check. Fourth, we find your blue ocean. And finally, number 5, we're going to break rules with Triz. Let's get right into it. Okay, part 1, frame the right problem. Before we even think about ideating or building a single thing, we have to stop symptom chasing. Looking at this 5-step problem framing process, you always start by locating the problem in actual evidence. Second, you find the root cause using the 5 whys framework. And honestly, this is a fantastic place to use an AI chatbot as a sounding board. Just prompt it to act as an interrogator and ask you why 5 times to drill down from a surface-level symptom to the real root cause. Third, you write a facts-only statement. Fourth, you clearly define what solved actually looks like. And fifth, you convert the whole thing into a generative how might we question to open up those creative possibilities. Let me show you what a perfect Step 3 statement looks like in practice. Only 38% of new users complete onboarding, leading to low activation. Now, notice what is not in that sentence. There is no baked-in solution. It doesn't say, oh, we need an AI chatbot, or we need to build a new app. It strictly names the who, the what, and the business consequence. And that, right there, is the gold standard for a problem statement. All right, moving on to part 2, brainstorm without the noise. Now that we actually have the right problem, it's time to brainstorm. But look, we all know traditional, out-loud group brainstorming is super flawed. It suffers from production blocking, and let's be real, the loudest voices usually just dominate the room. To fix that, we use specific tools for specific contexts. If you've got an early-stage idea, use starbursting to just generate questions. If you're in a group, use brainwriting. Studies show that individuals silently writing ideas on paper produces meaningfully more and better ideas than people just talking over each other. You can even feed these initial brainwriting prompts into an AI to instantly generate dozens of unexpected variations. It's like having 10 extra brains in the room. Now, if you aren't starting from scratch, but you're iterating on an existing product, Scamper is going to be your best friend. It's a 7-lens checklist. Substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to another use, eliminate, or reverse. It's just an incredibly powerful way to force divergent thinking. It lets you modify a baseline idea without having to stare at a terrifying blank piece of paper. And try this. Run your existing product through an AI and ask it to generate 10 combine or reverse concepts using this exact Scamper framework. It'll completely kickstart your thinking. Then, when it's time to actually evaluate those ideas as a group, I highly, highly recommend Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats. This framework forces everyone in the room to view an idea through one specific lens at the exact same time. First, everyone wears the white hat for facts, then red for feelings, black for risks, and so on. This completely removes personality clashes and confirmation bias because no one is stuck defending just their own emotional position. You can even assign an AI to wear the black hat to ruthlessly expose the risks your team might just be too optimistic to see. Which brings us to part 3, the iteration reality check. Because at the end of the day, raw ideas have to survive contact with the actual user. That is the operational backbone of product identification. And the engine of that reality check is a continuous loop. First, discovery, exploring customer needs. Second, selection, prioritizing those features. Third, validation, testing your prototypes before you spend a fortune on development. And finally, execution. By the way, AI is ridiculously powerful in that discovery phase. It can synthesize thousands of customer reviews in seconds to pinpoint exactly what needs validating. If you only take away one vital lesson about the iterative process today, make it this. Validation findings often send you back to discovery, and execution learnings often reopen selection. This is not a rigid, linear, one-time gate you pass through. It is a continuously running cycle. Seriously, if your prototype fails in validation, that is a massive success because it sends you back to discovery before you blew your entire budget executing the completely wrong thing. All right, part 4. Find your blue ocean. Let's say your idea actually survives validation. Awesome. But how do we ensure this validated concept isn't just another Me Too product that's going to get crushed in a brutal price war? We use the brilliant blue ocean strategy from Kim and Ma Bourne. Think about the two market realities. A red ocean is a bloodbath. You are competing on the exact same terms as everyone else, your profit margins are shrinking, and you're fighting tooth and nail to steal the same customers. A blue ocean, on the other hand, is completely uncontested demand. You aren't beating the competition. You are making the competition totally irrelevant by creating a brand new market space. To actually map that out, we use the ERRC grid. Eliminate, reduce, raise, and create. Basically, you write down the factors your industry competes on, and then you change the rules. Look at Cirque du Soleil. They eliminated expensive animal acts, things the traditional circus industry just took for granted as mandatory, but they created a theatrical, artistic experience tailored for adults. They raised the ticket prices, reduced their costs, and built a completely new value curve that literally no one else was offering. To speed this process up, you can prompt an AI to instantly map out the standard ERRC grid of your competitors. It makes it so obvious where you can start eliminating and creating. Finally, part 5. Break rules with Trez. So you're trying to create this radically differentiated blue ocean product, right? Well, you are inevitably going to hit massive structural roadblocks. Enter Trez, the theory of inventive problem solving. It was developed by studying global pattern patterns, and it revolves around resolving this core concept, the technical contradiction. This is a situation where improving one attribute of a system directly causes another one to worsen. For example, making an app much more powerful simultaneously makes it slower. Most people just shrug and accept that trade-off. Trez insists we absolutely must resolve it. To fix it, Trez gives us 40 inventive principles. Think of them as cheat codes derived from world-changing inventions. Instead of compromising, could you use segmentation to break that app into modular microservices? Or maybe use prior action to pre-fetch data before the user even clicks? These principles help us break right past those fixed constraints. And because Trez is notoriously dense, it's actually the perfect framework to feed into an AI model. You just ask it to apply these 40 inventive principles directly to your specific technical contradiction and watch what happens. The whole Trez mindset completely rejects the traditional compromise of just accepting obvious trade-offs. Instead, it demands that you define the ideal final result. What would it look like to achieve the exact function you want with zero added cost, zero complexity, and zero harm? You define theoretical perfection first, and then you work backward, using those cheat codes to find a genuinely inventive, feasible innovation. Wow, okay, we have covered a massive amount of ground today, from the 5 whys in brainwriting through the iteration loop all the way out to blue oceans and trees. So I want to leave you with this final provocative question to audit your own work right now. Are you currently swimming in a red ocean of surface-level symptoms, or are you diving deep into a blue ocean of actual root causes? Take this sequential toolkit, apply it to whatever project you're working on today, and turn that chaos into clarity. Keep learning, keep framing the right problems, and I will see you in the next explainer.